Hi all, Rick here. This video is going to contain spoilers for Season 3 of Strange New Worlds, but focuses on the pre-warp exploration efforts that occurred before First Contact and the Flight of the Phoenix. I'm going to be looking into spacecraft that are unique to Star Trek's lore, as of course many of these flights and programs just aren't happening in real life as we rapidly approach and even exceed the dates alluded to in the shows. Modern Star Trek has attempted to suspend this point with the shifting of events around, namely the dates of the eugenics wars and the rise of Khan Noonien Singh, but honestly at this point less and less of the Trek timeline overlaps with our own. Hopefully we also miss the nuclear war. But don't worry, only 38 years until First Contact. One of these first spacefaring vehicles we see is the Voyager probes. While only two exist in real life, within the context of Star Trek several more were produced with similar mission profiles. They were all launched from 1977 to 1990, with one of the last being Voyager 6. Unfortunately, Voyager 6 falls into a rogue wormhole that passes through its course and the vessel vanishes into history. In 2272, the Voyager entity returns to Earth to seek its creator's now 12th level power and incredibly modified from its core function by an unknown artificial form of life. Eventually it ascends to an even greater form of exploration by merging with a human to learn creativity and imagination, allowing it to become a multi-dimensional explorer. The Birdseye cryogenic ships were created to house people who had perished and could afford to get aboard, whether through their will or family members. They simply cryogenically froze the inhabitants and then launched them into space for some reason. Sure, the vessels were launched sometime around 1995 with no destination in mind. It's not exactly clear which came first, but following on from this, we have the original launch date of the Botany Bay. This was a sleeper ship of cryogenically preserved augments that followed Khan. The ship was loaded up with his followers as they fled Earth at the fall of his empire in 1996. The model used chemical booster rockets to achieve orbit, then detached them to drift into deep space. This deserves its own topic to cover, as there is a lot of interesting lore around the ship added from beta canon, as it also seems to be the product of temporal meddling, long before Strange New Worlds shifted the dates around. Nevertheless, the ship had artificial gravity, likely rotationally generated, and a rudimentary impulse engine powered by nuclear reactors. Its original destination appears to have been missed, as of course it was discovered in 2267 by the USS Enterprise. The new launch date is unknown at the time of this recording, but probably around the end of the Third World War. In 2002, Nomad was launched from Earth to seek out alien life. For 3 years it made its way towards the outer limits of our solar system before it collided with an asteroid in 2005 and was presumed destroyed. However, it survived to come into contact with an alien probe called Tanru. Tanru's artificial intelligence merged with the programming of Nomad, and the two probes eventually became one with a corrupted objective. It encountered the Federation in 2267. The OV-165 was the replacement NASA made for the Standard Space Shuttle, and it entered service from 2010 to 2024. And it was used as part of the Europa missions to ferry personnel and cargo to other space installations and acted as a backbone of many exploration missions. It was a form of hypersonic space plane and featured an aerospike engine. In 2024, the Europa missions were being helmed by various agencies from 16 countries to launch a manned exploration to the moons of Jupiter. While exploring Io with drones from the orbital Shango X-1, the pilot, of which was René Picard, an ancestor of Jean-Luc's, a microorganism was discovered which confirmed alien life existed in at least some form. This, combined with its unique properties, bolstered the Earth's pursuit of interstellar flight and colonizations, and eventually led to the creation of a way to reverse global warming. The Ares 4 missions launched in late 2031 by the International Space Agency, being the first attempted manned exploration to Mars. It was equipped with new ion drive technology and saw a lander deployed to the surface of the Red Planet, while the module remained in orbit, in contact with Earth. It lacked artificial gravity and perpetual life support systems. Of course, this module was swallowed by a graviton ellipse, a subspace mass with a pocket of real space-time inside it that's drawn to EM emissions. It emerged, swallowed the Ares 4 orbiter and vanished, stranding the pilot, Lieutenant John Kelly, within. Its logs were later recovered by the crew of the USS Voyager in 2376. In real life, the Ares missions were scrapped in 2010 as part of NASA's Project Constellation. In 2037, the Charybdis was mankind's third attempt at making a ship venture beyond the solar system under the command of Colonel Stephen Ritchie. It was equipped with a Block D fission reactor engine for propulsion, and it was to analyse the heliosphere. It had a crew of 15 and was designed for, as of the time, long-term inhabitation. That ship was transported to Theta 8 in 2038, where it was severely damaged and almost all the crew killed. The Klingon Empire eventually located Theta 8 and contacted the Federation to come take a look. The final addition we have is the launch of the last pre-warp exploration mission sometime between 2053 and 2063. This mission was a multinational effort but pioneered and rallied by America to shed some light back into the world in the aftermath of the Third World War and locate new colony worlds. It saw a large crew man a new extrasolar flight to go find strange new worlds, but their fate was ultimately unknown until 2261, when their descendants crossed into the Federation's sights once more. They'd become a group of savage raiders over time, and one can only speculate at the stories that unfolded for them to become such. Probably something along the lines of assuming Earth was long gone or something, and they were all that remained of the human species. By 2261, the vessel had become the fearsome Asalich, built from 2 centuries of salvage and hodgepodge of technology stolen from all over. It was capable of planetary destruction with a gravity attack and deliberately designed to resemble a predatory monster. Eventually it was destroyed, along with its around 7,000 crew, all of whom were the humans, perpetuating this cycle of consumption and raiding as the demands of their vessel increased their need for more resources. Their prey included Klingons and Gorn, placing them around the Beta Quadrant border. And of course, in 2063 we have the warp program that was the brainchild of Zefram Cochrane and his team that led to the first successful warp flight for humans. And that brings us to the end of humanity's pre-warp exploration efforts unique to the Star Trek timeline. What do you think? The outliers here seem to be the Botany Bay, which was so optimistically advanced, especially when the Ares missions are clearly inferior despite being later in the timeline. But I guess 1996 seemed a long way off to Roddenberry in 1966. Well, not to worry, I'm sure we'll be on colony worlds in a few more decades, no problems. I've been Rick, and thanks for watching this brief overview. If you want to hear any of these in more detail, let me know which, and until the next one, thanks again, and goodbye.